paid a girl to be my girlfriend. Now I'm stuck in love. You know how life sometimes takes you down the weirdest roads? Well, let me tell you about one of those strange experiences that shaped me in ways I never expected. It all started with an arrangement, something I never imagined would evolve into a deep emotional journey. This is the story of how I, a 24-year-old guy, fell for someone I paid to be my girlfriend, and how it turned my world upside down. I knew G, 22F, from high school. We weren't close back then, just casual acquaintances who crossed paths every now and then. Fast forward a few years, and life had thrown me a few curveballs. I was in a pretty bad place emotionally, lonely, struggling, and just trying to get by. That's when G came back into my life. It wasn't a fairy tale reunion, though. It started in a way that, looking back now, feels surreal. G was going through a tough time financially, and one day, she suggested something unconventional. She offered to send me some pictures of herself for money. At first, it was just pictures. Nothing too serious, just something to distract me from my problems and to help her out with some extra cash. I didn't really think much of it. I mean, it wasn't anything emotional. Just a simple transaction, right? But here's where things took an unexpected turn. At first, we barely talked outside of those transactions. But as time went on, our conversations deepened. She didn't just send me pictures. She started checking in on me, listening to me when I needed to vent, and she made me feel like someone cared. She was always there, messaging me throughout the day, making sure I felt supported. And while I knew that money was the foundation of this whole thing, it started feeling like more than just a paid arrangement. Without either of us saying it out loud, I wasn't just paying her for pictures anymore. I was paying for companionship, for someone to be there when I needed them. It was like she became my girlfriend, even though we never labeled it that way. She wasn't manipulative or fake. In fact, she was brutally honest about her situation. She needed the money, and I knew that. But the way she made me feel, the way she genuinely seemed to care, it became something much deeper. She even cried once when I told her how much having her in my life had helped me realize things about myself, about what I truly wanted. You know that feeling when things are going so well that you start to get scared? That's exactly what happened. I started falling for her, hard. It wasn't just about the arrangement anymore. I genuinely wanted to be with her. I knew it wasn't realistic, but I couldn't help it. I got too attached, and that's when things started to go downhill. I found myself constantly thinking about her, craving her attention more than was healthy. It wasn't just about the money or the arrangement anymore. I wanted something real, something that I knew deep down couldn't happen. That's when I decided it was time to stop. I remember sitting down, trying to figure out how to break the news to her. I didn't want to just ghost her or end things on bad terms. So, I talked to her about it. I told her how I was feeling, that I was becoming too emotionally attached, and that this was affecting me in ways I hadn't expected. I was nervous about how she'd react, but she understood completely. She was hurt, yes, but she didn't pressure me or try to manipulate the situation. She told me I could always reach out if I needed to, and I appreciated that. After we stopped, I couldn't help but think back on everything that had happened. There were moments when I doubted whether any of it was real, whether she actually cared about me, or if it was all just because of the money. But looking back, I realized that there was something genuine in what we shared. Even if it started as a transactional relationship, it grew into something more. She was always transparent, always honest about her feelings and her struggles. People often say you can't buy love, and I agree with that. But in this weird, twisted situation, I found something close to it. It wasn't a traditional relationship by any means, but it was real to me. She gave me the emotional support I desperately needed at that point in my life. And for that, I'll always be thankful. A lot of people might judge me for this. They might say I was naive, that I got played, but honestly, I don't see it that way. What we had may not have been conventional, but it was something that helped both of us in different ways. She got the financial support she needed, and I got the emotional support I was craving. It wasn't perfect, but it was what we both needed at the time. As time has passed, I've moved on, but a part of me will always remember what we had. Even though I know it couldn't have worked out in the long run, I can't deny the impact she had on my life. I've grown from this experience, and I've learned a lot about myself, about relationships, and about the difference between love and need. So, that's my story. A weird emotional roller coaster that started with a paid arrangement and turned into something much more complicated. I'm in a better place now, mentally and emotionally, and I'm thankful for that. But part of me will always wonder, what could have been if things had been different, if our connection hadn't been built on something so transactional. In the end, we're both better off, and I'm grateful for everything I learned from it. Life is full of strange experiences, and this was definitely one of them.